Hello, we are on day 12 of the 31 day Stop It Now challenge. I am Sheila Little, your friend and expert leader in the field of changing lives. Social worker for 20 years, clinical therapist, marriage and family therapist, director of Shaping Solutions, which is a nonprofit. If you can do me a favor, make sure that you like and share this post. Make sure you go to my Elevating Life group. Make sure if you want to work with me, you go over to my website and you can find all the information out about me. But more importantly, you know, but just as important, make sure you get out your workbook. I hope that you guys have gotten a workbook, that you're writing down these things and that you're working on them so that you can become aware. Like we talked about in week 1, your responsibility is to understand your problems. So when you hire a person like myself or anybody, that you know when you're going in, like what your issues are, what you want to stop doing so that you can, know what you want to create, right? And a part of knowing is what I want to stop doing so that I can learn to create what I want to start doing, okay? So, Miss Sheila, what is the 12th thing that I need to stop doing in my life? Okay. I want to encourage you to stop comparing yourself to everybody else. I said encourage, right? And you've been hearing me use this word, and I've been saying this old concept, new narrative. We hear this, stop comparing yourself to everybody. Stop comparing yourself to everybody. Yes, this is true. But I want to add a new narrative to it because again, the connotation under stop comparing yourself to everybody is not, this is not about being quote unquote toxic or negative or anything like that. The reason why we want to stop comparing ourselves to everybody else is truly because you're running your own race. You're literally running your own race. And listen, if you are if you are in a high performer and you grew up in a space, a healthy space, right, in a healthy family, you have the ability to see a person doing better than you and you can give them applause. Good for you, right? And you have the emotional intelligence when you see a person that's doing less than you or not as good as you to give them a hand up, right? Because you're healthy in your own space. So you know how to applaud the individuals that's doing better than you, and you know how to be of service or help the individual who's not. Now, when we have grew up though in environments where it wasn't healthy, right? Where there was trauma, where we were compared to, well, why you ain't got all A's? The Kim got all A's on her report card, or why you ain't doing this? And such was doing this, right? When you grow up in an environment where comparison was done, that gave the narrative that this person was either better than you or less than you, right? Then you have that understanding, right? When you start to compare. So when you see a person, right, doing better than you, it triggers an old story for you, right? Because now if my friend makes more money than me, then somewhere in my mind they're doing better than me, right? Which could not be true, right? If this person is, you know, seems like they're in a relationship by 30 or whatever, right? Because you're not in a healthy space yet, or you're in a stable space, but you're not all the way in the success mindset, then this can enable, right? This can enable or this can set you back, right? When you start to compare yourself, because it actually can start triggering stories that can set you back. So when I say stop comparing yourself to everybody else, it's not from this space of, you know, the old narrative of our understanding. It's truly from a space of, because you're running your own race, and because you're developing in spaces, because we truly are in a disadvantage, right? We're truly a disadvantaged population, meaning we're disadvantaged in probably how we were raised socioeconomically. We're disadvantaged in how we were raised emotionally, right? We're disadvantaged in how we were raised socially, right? So we don't have all the tools to even glean another person's progress and filter it through a space that is healthy. Okay. And so when we start to compare ourselves to everyone else, we could sometimes then get like a little jaded in our own, progression. And we can start feeling bad about the steps that we're taking, because it seems like Kim's steps is 5 times more than mine. And so now I'm not motivated to take my one step because, Kim steps is like 5 times. And so we can just start discrediting ourselves in our steps, that we're taking. And so I just want you to stop comparing yourself to everybody else, because you're different, you're unique, you have your own 23rd chromosome, you have your own iris, you have your own fingerprint. And so your steps may be very like grains of sand, right? And in grains of sand, when they come together, then they create the solid ground, right? And Kim may be like the bamboo tree, right? Where her roots was like under the ground first, and then she just shot up, real fast, right? So each one of us growth process happens differently, right? And so because we don't have that understanding based on our development, we can discredit ourselves. So just stop comparing yourself to somebody else's journey and just focus on your own. All right. And if you're having difficulty with focusing on your own race, or even knowing what your race is, or even understanding where you're at in your race, then I encourage you to go over to that Facebook group and join the Elevating Life community of individuals, professionals, entrepreneurs, aspiring leaders, current leaders, who aspire to align, advance, and accelerate their life. And that is a community that I feel committed to pouring into this year and beyond. And if you want to just work with me one-on-one, go over to my website to contact me, and get out your workbook, right? And just in this workbook, talk about your journey, right? What we can do is be inspired by other people's journey. So what I want you to do, instead of comparing yourself to other people's journey, look at some of your friends, and instead of looking at it from a judgment, or not even your friends, people, right? And instead of from a judgment, I like they're doing better than me. Look at it from a motivation. This person is doing this, and I want to do that. So list about 3 to 5 people that's doing something well in their life, and what are they doing? Is that something you're aspired to do? Okay. So instead of comparing yourself to them, use them as a metrics or measure to some things that you want to do. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow for day 13. Day 13 in this 31 day stopping out challenge. I love you guys. And remember, if you can shape it in your mind, you can have it in your life. I will see you tomorrow. Love you. Bye bye.